Greetings everyone. I am Snehaaigali, currently a student of Sri Venkateshwar College of Engineering, Bangalore. I am pursuing my bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering. Well, today I am up with a subject called microcontroller, in which I'll be talking about CPSR. So, what is CPSR? CPSR is nothing but the current program status register. First up, we have introduction to current program status register, that is CPSR. The current program status register is a register in computer architecture that stores the current operating status of the processor. It contains information about the processor mode, the interrupt status, and some of the conditional flags, like the conditional code flags. The CPSR is crucial for the execution of the instructions, and it is even crucial for handling the interrupts in the computer system. Now, next up, we have the purpose of CPSR. Why should one why should one computer core consist of a CPSR? This is because CPSR helps in managing the execution state of the processor. This is done by indicating the current operating mode. Not only this, CPSR also stores information about the conditional flags that result from an arithmetic operation. The CPSR, that is current program status register, plays even a critical role in controlling the behavior of the processor during our program execution. Now here we have some of the conditional flags and interrupt masks listed in the figure, where N indicates the negative result from the ALU, that is negative result from the arithmetic operations. Next, Z indicates the zero result from the arithmetic operations as well. The next we have C for ALU operation carried out, that is arithmetic operations, which consist of carry. The next up is V. V is for ALU operation overflow. Then in interrupt mask, we have I and F, which indicate disables interrupt request, and F is for fast interrupt request. Next is we have the key concepts of, next we have the key components of CPSR. So what all are the key components? Some of them include the processor mode, conditional flags, and interrupt status. First, let us see about the processor mode. It indicates the current mode of the operation, such as if it is a user mode, if it is a supervisor mode, or an interrupt request mode, and so on. Next up, we have conditional flags. So what conditional flags do is they store flags such as zero, negative, carry, overflow that result from an arithmetic operation. For zero, it is indicated by Z. For negative, it is indicated by N. For carry, we have C. And for overflow, it is indicated with V. Next up is interrupt status. Interrupt status keep track of the status of the interrupts, enabling the process of respond appropriately. Now, next up, we have understanding the processor modes, in which we have user mode, supervisor mode, and IRQ mode, that is interrupt request mode. First up is user mode, in which normal execution mode for the user applications. Next is supervisor mode. In supervisor mode, it is a privileged mode for the operating system to perform the system level operation. Then next is interrupt request mode. It is entered when handling interrupts to ensure the proper interrupt handling. Now in the figure we have least privileged, that is marked by this green ring 3, and the most privileged is the kernel mode, which is ring 0. Next up is conditional flags in CPSR. Conditional flags, which include, as I mentioned previously, zero flag, negative flag, carry flag, and one more flag is overflow flag. And that first is the zero flag. It indicates that the result of an arithmetic operation is 0. Then next up we have the negative flag. It indicates that the result of the operation is negative. Then carry flag indicates an arithmetic carry or borrow. Normally, the data processing instructions such as add, subtract, add, carry, etc. do not change the value of conditional flags in CPSR. Next up, here we have the CPSR bit layout. The CPSR is a 32-bit register with some specific bits allocated for different purposes. That is, bit 31 is to N, which means the negative flag, and bit 30 is to 0, that is, that means the 0 flag. Here we have the 31st bit is for the negative, 30th is for 0, 29C means for carry, then we have V for overflow. Then the modes from 0 to 4 are the mode bits. Then at the fifth position, we have the state bit. At sixth position, we have fast interrupt request, which is disabled. Then at the seventh position is the interrupt request, which is disabled. Now next up is modifying the CPSR. The CPSR can be modified using the specific instructions in assembly language. Instructions like MSR, that is move to status register, and MRS, that is move from status register, are used to access and modify the CPSR. Modifying the CPSR requires careful consideration to ensure our proper program execution. The next up, we have importance of CPSR in interrupt handling. How CPSR plays an important role in handling an interrupt. That is, the CPSR plays a crucial role in managing interrupts in a computer system. When an interrupt occurs, the processor switches to a privileged mode to handle the interrupt. The CPSR helps in saving the current execution state and restoring it after handling the interrupt. Here we have, in the figure, we have the flowchart for how an interrupt is handled. Then next up, we have best practices for working with CPSR. How it can be done is by understanding the role of CPSR in controlling the behavior of the processor, follow proper coding practices to avoid unintended modifications to the CPSR. And the last point is test and verify the behavior of the CPSR in different scenarios to ensure the correct execution of the program. The ARM core uses CPSR to monitor and control the internal operations. Then now we have reached to the conclusion. So after looking to all these points, what we can conclude about CPSR is the current program status register is a vital component in the computer architecture for managing the processor's execution state. The CPSR also stores crucial information about the processor modes, conditional flags, and interrupt status. Understanding the current program status register and its functionalities is essential for developing efficient and reliable software systems. Well, guys, that was all about the current program status registers. I hope this might help you guys. Thank you so much for watching.